guys, back to our YouTube channel. Thanks for your great support. Hey, William Ruto, the president of the Republic of Kenya. And that's why sometimes nikikwambia guys, please just try your level base. Unilaikie hii video ifikie watu wengi. Juu once mnaendelea kusupport hii channel, once tunaendelea kuwaletea mambo venye yanaendelea kuchemka pale kwa kona, pale ndani venye mambo yamefichwa, tunaendelea kuwachomolea. So guys, ensure umelike video ili ifikie watu wengi. So now, a broad-based government ilikuwa imepangwa iuzwe upande wa Nyayo Stadium. Sera za broad-based government zilikuwa zimepangwa ziuzwe pale Nyayo Stadium wakati ambapo ibada ya Raila Amolo Odinga ilikuwa inaendelea. And state itself ndo ilikuwa imeplan. Na ukiangalia vizuri, even the family of Raila Amolo Odinga ilikuwa inajua kwamba lazima watauza hizi sera za broad-based government baada ya Raila Odinga kuingia pale ndani. Juu Raila Odinga ameaga dunia akiwa ndani ya broad-based government, but ametoka kama amedeclare kwamba is not going to support President William Ruto 2027. Juu speech yake ya mwisho ndo mimi naangalia, alisema lazima atakuwa na candidate from ODM party. Hey. So now, kufikia pale Nyayo Stadium, the first speaker alikuwa Bishop David. Huyu jamaa aliunda mood, and I can tell you that iwapo Oburu Odinga juu alipikiwa kama party leader after Raila Odinga ameaga dunia, appointiwa kama party leader. So ni yeye angeweza kuzungumza mambo ya broad-based government na familia ya Raila Odinga ili kuplease President William Samoei Arap Ruto. Hivyo ndo mambo yalikuwa yamepangwa. And wakati ambapo huyu bishop alianza kuundia watu mood, mambo yalichemuka, yakabadilika. And mtu peke yake alijaribu kutamka mambo ya broad-based government ni William Ruto peke yake. Hao wengine wote waliingia chini ya maji. Oburu Odinga, Aida Odinga, Winnie Odinga, Rosemary Odinga, and even Odinga Jr. Hakuna mtu alimention mambo ya broad-based government. You are going to be shocked. Na hiyo ndio kitu William Ruto imempatia tension na inampatia stress kwamba it's like 2027 imenifikia na lazima nikubali kwenda nyumbani. Unaona guys? Juu sasa ile kuprofile, watu wanaenda kuprofile President William Ruto. I don't know kama huyu jamaa anaenda kufaulu. Unaona guys? But first of all, acha tuangalie huyu Pastor David, huyu Bishop David. Huyu jamaa alionyesha William Ruto dust, and ikafikia mahali Odinga's family iliamua kuignore historia broad-based government. Juu kama ungetamka broad-based government, maybe wangekuwa heckled, and maybe ingekuwa against huyu Pastor David, huyu Bishop David. Juu Bishop David alikuwa amepreach vizuri sana, na ikawa ni kama broad-based government imehusika kwa maovu hapa Kenya. Sikiza mambo.
Hardly a month ago, when I had breakfast with Baba, we were with Mama Ida, and we talked about things touching on the church. And one thing I said, I saw a man who was ready to meet God anytime. I saw in him a man who had made peace with God in everything that he said and everything that he did. I saw in him a man who was ready to walk the journey with the Lord at whatever level. And when we are proclaiming the word, we should not be fearful. Word proclaimed must have the power to transform, must have the power to make us renewed in our strength for the liberation of our country from those who are looting everything from us, from country level to everywhere. If there is anyone here, I want us to make a testament. I want us to make a testament with the people of Kenya. If there is anyone here, at whatever level, be you a governor, be you an MCA, be you whoever it is who has looted this country, you know you stand a chance of being condemned. So when we are talking about a person of the stature of Raila Odinga, today we have very bad manners amongst most of our politicians. They have taught our people the culture of handouts, that wherever you are, you must give part with money, and woe unto those who drive big vehicles, they are in trouble. Whenever you are seen, you are only seen in terms of money. What can you be able to give? Baba Raila Amolo Odinga never used the power of his wallet as a convincing tool to others, but he used the power of persuasion. He used the power of persuasion. He used the power of the word. Let's allow ourselves to be used of God, so that the power He has given us, how many can fit in that shoes today as I speak? I am addressing you when I'm in the Spirit of God to proclaim that God wants us to do things right all the time, everywhere, so that Kenya could be free and all of us could be free to live in a united nation of our republic.
So now, William Ruto akaingia tabani. Na ndo maana William Ruto moments alienda kuzungumza, alitaja tu broad based mara moja, hakuendelea. Juu chaos ambazo zilikuwa pale hazikuwa zina waruhusu kuzungumzia mambo ya broad based government. Unaona guys? Hii ni speech ya Ida Odinga akiwa pale Nyayo Stadium. Unajua sasa tuna review sasa. Jana ilikuwa tu watu walikuwa na post, unaangalia tu but ausikizi na uconcentrate na uweki pale akili yako. Hii ni wakati wa kuweka pale akili. Ujue huyu mama aliongea nini? Sikiza.
Hello? Thank you. To His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, His Excellency William Samoei Ruto, and Her Excellency Lady Rachel Ruto, the former President President Uhuru Kenyatta, the visiting president past and present, the deputy presidents, all distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and watu wetu wa Kenya kwa jumla, hamjambo. Today is a very unique day. It is not every day that I would be standing here to say something to the nation and to the world about my dear husband, Raila Amolo Odinga. For those who don't know me, I've got a very long name. They call me Canon Dr. Ida Betty Odinga EST. Now, these names don't just come like that, but they are names that are given. I cannot forget the name that the public has given me called Min Pin. That name is a very heavy name because it is a name that puts a lot of responsibility to the owner of that name. I'm also gotten the name of Peace Ambassador. And for that reason, even before I say something else, I'd like to say something about peace. One thing that I know that Raila stood for, and he keep on repeating, is that we need peace in our nation, we need peace in our homes. And peace will not survive in a situation, in a chaotic situation. For that reason, I appeal, today I appeal, let us mourn Raila in peace. I know you are all concerned, I know you are all mourning, you are sad about this, but let's keep peace so that the peace can prevail, not only here in the stadium, but also in the rest of the country. Coming to talk about my dear husband, Raila Amolo Odinga. I first met Raila way back in the early 70s, and we got married in 1973. For that reason, I've lived with this man for 52 years. Many of the people that I see or who are in this stadium could have easily be our children. No wonder you call him Baba. That name did not come from nowhere, but came from the experience and the life that he has lived with and relationship that he has had with some of these people. During our union, we were blessed by 4 children. First, we had the first child was called Fidel Castro Odhiambo Odinga. When Fidel was born, I was a bit hesitant the way he gives the name. I say, why do you call him Fidel? Then he said he was a great admirer of Fidel Castro, and therefore he named his first child Fidel Castro Odinga. Later, we had the second child, Rosemary. And here again, Rose is the name of my mother, and Mary is the name of his mother. We combined the two names together, and we called the child Rosemary. It also has a meaning to us. When it came to the third one, and he named after his best friend and his cousin called Raila Kembo, with whom they shared the name. So we ended up with Raila Oginga Odinga. Last, there was a big gap, and I'll explain to you. Last came the fourth child. The fourth child, when I went to the hospital, and you know those mothers, you end up somewhere in labor ward. And I was watching the television. And on the television, that's the time when Nelson Mandela had come out of prison. It was he's been there for 27 years. Raila also had been in prison, but that's not why we named her Winnie. And I was watching the television, I could see Nelson Mandela and Winnie Mandela holding hands as Mandela walked out of the gates of the prison. By then, I didn't know what kind of child I was going to get. But then I said, if it's a boy, we'll name him Wilson Mandela. But if it's a girl, will be Winnie Mandela. And therefore, Winnie Mandela arrived. And that's the fourth child. I see when you look at this naming of the children, I know these days you can name your child anything that you want. But I'll appeal to those who are still having babies. Give your child a meaningful name. Because you name them people you never saw, you never heard of, simply because it saw the name written somewhere.
Hakuna broad-based government pale. Number two, Winnie Odinga. Winnie Odinga, speech yake walikuwa wamerestrict. Akawa watu anazungumzia legacy ya Raila Odinga. Wamerestrict kabisa. Sikiza.
To fellow mourners and all protocols observed, I don't know who I'll miss more, my dad or my superhero. I've been the luckiest girl in the world because you are my dad. Only 3 other human beings were as lucky as me: Fidel, Rosie, and Junior. Dad, you are light, steady, unyielding, and deeply human. To the world, you are known by many names. When you were growing up, they used to call you Aluo. And then when you started work, they started calling you Jaramogi's son. And at some point, they started to call you Tinga. At another point, they started to call you Agwambo. Briefly there, they called you Nyundo.
And now, Oburu Odinga na hao wengine wakamalizia. Then moments William Ruto alikuwa anazungumza, alijaribu kutaja hii broad-based government. Yeye peke yake.
When I stood by him with the other Pentagon members at a defining moment in his and our nation's history, I neither knew that one day we would find ourselves on opposite sides, nor could I have imagined that years later he would stand by me, this time to steady the nation and to help anchor my leadership, culminating in the birth of the broad-based government. To you, Baba, I owe you, and I am truly and eternally grateful that our paths crossed and that we shared this journey together. We have been both collaborators and competitors, friends and rivals, but always patriotic Kenyans, united by a dream greater than ourselves, a dream bigger than any partisan divide, a dream of a united motherland called Kenya. As I have reflected on Raila's legacy following his passing, I have entertained no doubt in my mind that history will judge him fairly and kindly, because whenever the nation needed him to rise above self, he always did unreservedly. Whenever Kenya needed reason, he became the voice of reason courageously. And whenever the country needed a hand of reconciliation, he offered it without hesitation.
What do you think? What do you think? Kwa nini hao watu wengine hawakutaja broad-based government? Na hii ni kitu Raila Odinga aliingia pale waka handshake na William Ruto. So kumaanisha mambo yamechemuka to President William Samoei Arap Ruto.